And thanks for joining us at this hour. This is ASU Breifing. I am Joycelyn Elakeche Ada. Our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari justifies government's borrowing to finance infrastructure. FCTA set to complete 640 million naira abandoned Pilgrims Welfare Board office complex. A minister of Niger Delta region appeals to 3 tiers of government to work in synergy. Nigeria's permanent representative to United Nations, Ambassador Tijani Muhammad Bande, bows out of office. You are watching ASU Breifing. Watch us live on www.asutvandaradio.com/live. Also on StarTimes TV, channel 127, and Free TV, channel 507. More details after the break.
My name is Abbas G. Idris. I am the Director General, FCT Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. I would like to appeal to the residents of the FCT. Based on the experts' prediction, we are going to witness more flooding in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and its environment. We are therefore calling on all residents to observe the simple precaution, avoiding dumping refuse in the waterways, avoiding blockage of the drainages, avoiding buildings on the floodplains, and of course, avoiding driving or walking in a running water whenever it rains. This is very serious. We have been experiencing loss of lives and properties in the FCT as a result of this neglect. And I am appealing to the residents of the FCT that we should try as much as possible to take necessary precautions. Where there is any danger, you should not hesitate to call on 112. That is the toll-free emergency number for our rescue team to come for your assistance. Again, if you know that you are residing in a flood-prone area, please evacuate with immediate effect to a higher ground. Go to nearby friends, neighbors, or relations that you can be able to save your life and that of your family. It is necessary, as the saying goes, a stitch in time saves 9. Thank you very much.
You're all watching ASU Breifing, and now details of all our stories. President Muhammadu Buhari has justified government's borrowing to finance infrastructure, asserting that his government took loans in the interest of the country to solve the dire shortfall in infrastructure. The president was speaking at a virtual meeting with members of the Presidential Economic Advisory Council, PEACE, at the State House in Abuja. President Buhari said the country must fix its roads to save lives from soaring road accidents. He expressed regret that the failure to provide the infrastructure for effective transportation deprived the country of its well-deserved status as the West African hub for air cargo transportation and transshipment of goods on the issue of the economy. President Buhari noted the challenges posed by the collapse of the oil market and the decision of government to abide by the reduced oil production quota allocated by the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. President Buhari also stressed the position of agriculture in the government's scheme to reduce joblessness and poverty. The Council recommended steps for the effective implementation of government's plan to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty, as well as measures to curb poverty disparity in Nigeria. The Council promised to set out a full policy paper that would, in the first instance, stop more Nigerians from falling into poverty. A number of measures were outlined by the Council aimed at aggressively increasing the country's non-debt investment inflow, including measures to improve their investor perception of the country and the proposed establishment of a $5 billion to $10 billion investment and growth fund to invest in. It listed the implementation of reforms encapsulated in the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020, recently signed into law, the reforms in the energy sector, and the decision of the Central Bank of Nigeria to merge the exchange rate of the Naira versus other foreign currencies. The Federal Capital Territory Administration is set to complete the abandoned 640 million Naira Pilgrims Welfare Board Office complex. Minister of State for FCT, Dr. Ramatu Tijani Aliyu, gave the assurance while on an assessment tour of the 5-story building project located at Kaura district of Abuja. A statement issued by the Special Assistant and Media to the Minister, Mr. Austin Elumwe, said work on the building started in 2015 but has only advanced to 20% completion since its commencement. The minister, who explained that the project falls within the category of one of the abandoned projects in the Federal Capital Territory that needs urgent attention, also promised that the administration would ensure that genuine contractors are paid on the level of work done. The contractor handling the project, Engineer Ejike Amu Nadi, appreciated the minister for demonstrating political will and assured that the project will be completed in 20 months. An FCT administration says arrangements have been concluded to ensure that venue of Nigeria's 60th Independence Anniversary celebration, Eagle Square, is safe and in strict compliance with the COVID-19 safety protocols. FCTA Permanent Secretary Mr. Olushade Adeshola stated this when he led a delegation of management staff of FCTA and FCDA to Eagle Square, Abuja, to ascertain the level of preparedness. Mr. Adeshola said the administration is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that no participant contracts the novel coronavirus during the forthcoming Independence Day anniversary. The Permanent Secretary, who inspected the restrooms, holding rooms, sitting arrangements, and other facilities, expressed delight with the quality of facilities and ground while assuring participants of a top-notch celebration. Speaking further, the Permanent Secretary commended managers of the facility for doing an excellent job and assured them of government's willingness to support them should the need arise. And the Nigerian Council of Legal Education has sworn into the noble profession almost 2,000 law graduates from the Nigerian Law School. The swearing-in took place at the Eagle Square, Abuja. Correspondent Halima Oyenkpemi completes this report.
The long-awaited ceremony, which was earlier scheduled for the 29th of July 2020, took place today, where 1,785 new wigs joined the profession. Director General of the Nigerian Law School, Professor Isa Hayatu Chiroma, urged the new lawyers to adhere strictly to the ethics of the profession alongside changes in the way of practice caused by COVID-19 pandemic.
I enjoin you to make the best of the legal profession, since it is your free will to belong to it. You must also ensure strict adherence to its norms and ethics. We wish you the best for the future.
One of the newly sworn-in lawyer, Omolayo Obadia, appreciated the Nigerian Council of Legal Education for the opportunity.
Everything was stressful at one time, but everything finally fell into place. And I think because of the COVID, though there were some new measures that were now taken, but it kind of made things easier. The event has just started by 10 and is already over really, really fast.
Also, Judith Onuegbo stated that COVID-19 did not deter the training and efforts from all angles made the celebration possible.
To the organizers of this ceremony, because it has not been easy. You know, with the widespread of this COVID-19, it hasn't been exactly easy to call a certain crowd like this, but they were able to coordinate it properly.
The ceremony ended within an hour as recommended by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, with new lawyers moving to the Supreme Court for documentation. Halima Oyinpemi, ASO Television News.
Gwagwalada Area Council of the FCT will hold an all-inclusive security meeting to fashion out strategies against crime, particularly kidnapping in the area. Chairman of the Area Council, Alhaji Mustafa Adamu Danze, disclosed this during an interview over the recent kidnapping by unknown gunmen in Tungan Maji area. Correspondent Abdullahi Mukhtar completes this report.
Alhaji Mustafa Danze expressed confidence that kidnapping will soon be a thing of the past in the area, and the FCT as a whole, with the confidence and effort being put up by the FCT Police Command under the able leadership of Mr. Bala Chiroma and the support of the Area Council. Alhaji Danze said the all-inclusive security meeting will include all the traditional rulers from the Zuba axis, security agents, vigilante, as well as retired security personnel from the area.
The whole Zuba Emirate Council with vigilante groups, police officers, retired soldiers that are around that place will be holding a security meeting in which council officials will be in attendance to strategize a way forward where constant patrol of this environment will be put in place with total support of the Area Council administration.
The Gwagwalada Area Council chairman added that a similar strategy has been used in other places and strongly believes that same will work if applied in Tungamaji area, where the kidnappers are believed to be regrouping after they had gone into hiding. He called on residents to always give adequate information on time whenever they notice unusual movement to the appropriate authorities.
Their total compliance is very, very much needed. Information is also a weapon that is needed. For example, people that go to the farm sometimes will call me. I leave my phone on to make sure I receive calls from this axis now, and they are giving me information from their various farms. If they see new faces, quickly they will call security agencies, and maybe they will call any principal officer of the council so that quick security arrangement will be put in place to arrest the situation.
The chairman also assured residents that government will continue to do everything humanly possible to protect lives and property.
Basic fact is that they are regrouping at that particular point. And I'm confident with the competent Commissioner of Police we have and the prompt response of the Honorable Minister and Minister of State in conjunction with the Council administration.
The 12 people recently kidnapped have been released on hot and have since been reunited with their loved ones. Abdullahi Mukhtar, ASO Television News.
And now on COVID-19 update. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has recorded 90 new infections and 5 deaths due to the coronavirus pandemic in the country, bringing the nation's total confirmed cases to 56,478. The NCDC disclosed this on its official Twitter handle, and according to the agency, the infections were reported from 8 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The 90 cases were recorded in 7 states and the FCT, with Lagos recording the highest infections with 33 cases and Plateau following with 27, and Kaduna had 17, while Ogun recorded 6 and the FCT had 4. The remaining 3 states, including Anambra, Ekiti, and Nasarawa, has 1 case each. So far, 44,430 patients have been discharged, with 1,088 deaths recorded in 36 states and the FCT. Let's now see the states in the country are placed on the COVID-19 table. And for an update on the African continent, 1,121,264 people have recovered from the coronavirus, while active cases now stand at 218,341. The continent has, however, recorded a total of 33,126 COVID-19 related deaths. Let's see how the first 12 countries on the continent appear with their figures on the COVID-19 African chart. And for COVID-19 global update, 21,557,163 people have so far recovered out of the world's total cases of 29,753,210. Currently, active cases worldwide are 7,256,373. Let's now see the countries and their figures on the table. You're all watching ASO Briefing. A reminder of our headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari justifies government's borrowing to finance infrastructure. FCTA set to complete 640 million naira abandoned Pilgrims Welfare Board office complex. And still ahead on ASO Briefing, Minister of Niger Delta Region appeals to 3 tiers of government to work in synergy. And Nigeria's permanent representative to United Nations, Ambassador Tijani Mohammed Bande, bows out of office. We'll be back after this short break. You're all watching ASO Briefing. Remember, you can watch us live on www.asoradiantv.com/live. You can also watch us on StarTimes TV on channel 127, and you can watch us on Free TV channel 507. And I'm ahead with all the stories. The Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, Mr. Otumba Olusegun Runsewe, has called on the federal government to pay more attention to culture and tourism for youth empowerment. Mr. Runsewe made the call at the official inauguration of Hospitality Institute in Abuja. Our correspondent, Tapsi Gimba, covered this event and now completes this report.
Mr. Otumba Olusegun said, in arts and culture sector, nobody is a failure, adding that the institute would empower the youth if adequate attention was given to it by the government.
For me, Mastermind have done something that is reawakening us to the reality of life. The sector ahead is the only sector that nobody is a failure. In my sector, even if you make F9 plus, you are useful. Oh yes, you don't need a BSc to draw a good map. You don't need a PhD to do good amala. You don't. What you need is that personal skill in you. That brings me to mind today.
Also speaking at the inauguration of the institute, a former presidential candidate in the 2019 elections on the platform of the Abunda Renewal Political Party, Mr. Tokwe Fashua, described hospitality, culture and tourism as key areas for national development. According to him, it will create employment and investment among the unemployed youth in the country.
And we should start institutions that will outlive us and keep perfecting their own excellence, given that excellence is itself a journey, not a destination.
Earlier, the rector of the Masterminds Institute, Mrs. Khadija Fashna, says she would use the institute to build the taste of Abuja.
Very easy to replicate that here as a taste of Abuja. It will showcase our local ingredients, it will showcase our local crafts and arts.
Mrs. Fashina said she was poised to making a statement in the industry and call for collaboration from key stakeholders in the sector.
And we know that hospitality is one of the industries that provides the highest level of employment anywhere in the world, and we want to be partners in achieving the dream of putting Nigeria on the surface of the world as one of the best hospitality countries. We will use our superior knowledge and skills and facilities to make sure that our learners get the proper skill sets that will put them at par with their contemporaries all over the world.
Topsy Gimba, ASO Television News.
The Minister of Niger Delta Region, Senator Godswill Akpabio, has said that the three tiers of government must work together to build cordial relationship for the well-being of Nigerians. Senator Akpabio stated this when he paid a visit to the newly appointed clerk of the National Assembly, Mr. Olatudojo Olubumi, in Abuja. From the National Assembly, correspondent Topsy Gimba completes this report.
Senator Godswill Akpabio said he was satisfied with the harmonious working relationship between the executive and the legislature of the Ninth Assembly, and to visit the clerk was necessary.
To ensure that there is harmony between the legislature and the executive, and that harmony has existed. In fact, I was just talking to the clerk of the National Assembly that today we have a better National Assembly, by implication the Senate and House of Reps, in terms of executive legislative harmony, in terms of cordiality.
The minister disclosed that as senator, he would always visit the National Assembly, adding that issues affecting the three tiers of government shall be resolved amicably.
My presence here is to re-emphasize that I'm a senator forever, and therefore the National Assembly remains my home. And so the issue of whether you go to this arm or that arm would not arise. It is totality of the National Assembly. That harmony must occur between the executive and the legislature.
asked if the issues of allegation leveled against some lawmakers were jettisoned following the renewed relationship he was trying to build with the legislators on the award of contracts, Senator Godswill Akpabio said the Speaker of the House of Representatives was simply misquoted.
That wasn't what the Honorable Speaker demanded. The Speaker wanted to know whether there was undue influence from any section of the National Assembly in respect of contract in the NDDC. He did not say whether they were contractors.
Senator Akpabio was seen going to the House of Representatives to meet with the Chairman House Committee on NDDC before he could leave the complex. Topsy Gimba, ASO Television News.
And on business, the National Bureau of Statistics says the Nigerian inflation rate rose to 13.2% in August 2020. The recent Consumer Price Index report released by NBS shows that this is the highest in 29 months. Our correspondent Elaine Major joins us with details. Major, you're welcome to ASO Briefing.
Jocelyn, thank you for having me.
So, what are the factors responsible for this inflation?
According to the Consumer Price Index report released by the National Bureau of Statistics, the increase in inflation, or rather the rise in inflation for August 2020 was attributed to the increase in the prices of bread and cereal, fat and oil, meat and fish, hospital services and medical services, pharmaceutical products, and transportation fare by air and by road. These are the major factors that contributed to the rise in inflation for August 2020.
Also, how does this affect the economy?
Yes, given the rise in inflation for August 2020, this will definitely affect the economy in a negative note, because it is evident that Nigerians now will have to spend much money, despite the fixed income, also the problems that is associated with economic activities. There is a distraction in economic activities, and also the dwindling rate of investment returns. So this will definitely impact the economy in a negative way.
Thank you for explaining all of this to us on ASO Briefing.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And moving on, Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Tijani Muhammad Bande, on Tuesday bowed out of office as president of the 74th session of the General Assembly. He handed over the gavel to Turkish diplomat and politician Volkan Bozkır, who will be steering the ship of the 75th session of the 193-member law-making body. The brief ceremony, which held inside the General Assembly Hall at the UN headquarters in New York under strict social distancing rules, saw UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres in attendance. The UN Secretary General congratulated Mohammed Bande for sterling leadership that saw the 74th session completing its full program of work in spite of the enormous challenges. And on sport, the Nigerian Basketball Federation, NBBF, has signed a 5-year deal with Total E&P Nigeria worth 150 million naira for the sponsoring of the men's Division 1 and 2 leagues. The NBBF and Total partnership, which will run between 2020 and 2025, will see Divisions 1 and 2 receiving 15 million naira each annually to organize and run the leagues. Speaking at the signing event yesterday in Lagos, which had the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, in attendance, NBBF President Engineer Musa Kida thanked the company for the confidence in the NBBF, highlighting that the sponsorship, which is the first ever partnership with the lower levels of basketball, has opened a new platform in the corporate sponsorship of sports in Nigeria. And that's our package for ASO Briefing today. I am Joycelyn Elakeche Ada. Thanks for watching.